Okay, so it's getting real. You guys get to join me in one of the most intimate places in my house, and it's my bedroom. Reason being because it's the only quiet place in my house right now. So I promised a leadership training with you guys. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I want to cut it down into 10 different segments. And the reason I want to do that is I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed by being a leader. I want you to take it in small steps. I want to show you things that I think are really important, that I've seen that are really important. And I want to make it easy for you guys to duplicate and to really train you and teach you how to be effective leaders. I think more or less just encourage you to do these steps and to take action in growing your teams, because it's not hard. It's just things that you need to do every day to help you keep motivated and keep growing. So this is going to be our first video. If you watch all these videos, I want you to post below in the comments something that you've taken from it that really resounded in you, something that you feel like you can start doing to help you grow and succeed. Last week I went with my daughter on a field trip, and we went to a nursery. They gave all the little kids these little flowers to take home and plant. I looked at it and I thought that is the perfect analogy for the very first video that I wanted to make. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot. It has come to my attention a lot this past week also. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is nourishing your team and sponsoring your team. Sponsoring your team is a lot different than recruiting. You know, we use that word a lot, that, you know, you're their sponsor or whatever, and everybody kind of thinks of it as, oh, you know, they've recruited this person. Well, sponsoring is so much different than recruiting someone. Why is that? Well, for an example, when I was looking at this plant and trying to think about, you know, how I wanted to explain how this correlates to this training is, when we find someone who's interested in the business, pretend they were this tiny little seed, and we plant them in the ground, and, you know, we nourish them with all this information about joining Jamboree, about how, you know, they have to sell 600 in the year, but that's all. There's no monthly requirement. That, you know, it's so great because you get this much for a discount. We have all these great training pages and all this stuff, and we nurse them, and their interest starts sprouting, and they become this little plant that, you know, we look at them and we think they have so much potential. They're going to be an awesome team member. I'm so excited for them to be part of my group and my team. And, you know, they get to be this beautiful little plant. And what I see happen a lot is after they have signed and they've pulled the trigger, for lack of a better term, and now they're part of your team, what do a lot of people do? They say, okay, well, here's your water, and here's your soil, and here's your sunlight, so go ahead and go grow yourself. Does that work so well? I mean, is a plant capable of you know, making sure that it has the fertilization in the soil, and can it water itself? Can it make sure that it's planted in a sunny spot to grow well? It can't. So what we're essentially doing with these recruits that we get is we're throwing all this information at them. You know, here's the things that you need to do well and to, you know, train and get going on your business. And then what's happening is a lot of people are not working with their recruits anymore. They say, you know, I've given them all the information they need to know, and I mean, they're just not doing anything with it. Well, two things. First, it's very true that people have to be self-motivated. They really do. I mean, you can't force anybody to do anything. But number two, I don't know how you felt when you started, but I was lost. I mean, it takes a long time to get the information you need and to grow a good foundation for your business and understand how things work and how the different processes work. And if they've never been in direct sales before, good grief. I mean, booking a party can be really scary. There's all these little things that they're just learning how to do, and they can feel very overwhelmed, and they need that support to keep growing. Do you know what the #1 complaint I get from people who message me and saying they're just frustrated and they're quitting the business is? It's that they have not had the support from their upline. They usually complain about never getting a message from them, or never getting the help they need, or they just feel like they're lost and don't have that communication opened up. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. That's probably the #1 complaint I get from people who decide to quit Jamboree. So how exactly do we continue to help these ladies grow? #1, you have to be messaging your team. You have to be private messaging your team. And the reason being is not everybody's going to pop on the page and see what you post every single day. You have to be proactive in messaging your girls and saying, how are you doing? What can I do to help you? How am I going to be able to help you promote this month? Or, oh, you're having trouble booking parties. Let's get you some ideas to do well and to get those parties booked. Oh, you're having trouble recruiting. Here's some great advice that I've gotten from other, ladies in direct sales also. Here's some things that I've done myself. And you need to be able to feed that information to them, give them ideas to help. Because I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things about this company is I run out of ideas. And a lot of the things that I produce on our team page and stuff is coming from other leaders. I see things that they've done and I say, you know what, that's working for them. That's a great idea. I'm going to try that. I'm going to share it with my team. And then there's things that I come up with and I share them with other leaders because, we all are here to help each other. We're all here to help each other grow. Okay. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing in these trainings too is I'm going to try to teach you guys how to use your dashboard more efficiently. I know some of you are pretty well versed in how to use it, but some of you need a little guidance on where do you go every month to look at your teammate, to look and see how they're doing for the month, to see what they need to accomplish to be able to get those rank advancements and see how close they are to doing that kind of stuff. So that's something I'm going to do to try to help you guys at least have a guide of where to go to do that. But getting back to our bush right here, something else that I have noticed a lot in direct sales, in our team specifically, and all these downline members that I've been able to watch and have the privilege of getting to know and watch over the past couple of years, something that I've noticed is some people tend to get burnt out on the business. It happens, okay? And that doesn't mean that, they're unmotivated or whatnot. Sometimes it's just not for them. But sometimes it is for them and they just need encouragement. And they need the help to see that they have the potential to get past that hump in their business, to get further and get out of that slump that they're in, that bad month is not going to last forever and they just need to put one foot in front of the other and get going again. But sometimes they say, you know what, I'm just going to take a break this month because I'm so tired. And I have a really hard time telling them this, but I will tell you this in the video. When I see somebody take a break in their business, guess what happens? Pretend I'm cutting this stem right here, okay? What's going to happen to all these little legs that have grown off of their foundation that they've built? They're all going to start dying. And when these leaders of a team take a break, all these little legs that they've helped grow start dying off because they're not getting the nutrients that they needed from that team leader. They're not getting the support system that they needed from this foundation that was built. And so I just really want to encourage you, if you ever feel like taking a break, don't do it. Don't do it. You just have to push through it one step at a time. A lot of times for me personally, it just takes one good night's rest. And you wake up in the morning refreshed and renewed and ready to start again with your business. But I want you to remember the analogy of a little plant, okay? I want you to remember that nourishing your teams, building relationships with your team members, and working together is how you are going to flourish and be able to grow in this business and be able to blossom into the potential you have. So I really want to encourage you and I think give you a challenge this week to touch base with your girls. I want you to ask them how they're doing. I want you to check and see how close they are to promoting. I want you to just dig deeper with them, get to know something about them that maybe you didn't know. Ask them questions. Ask them what they do other than Jamberry. Get to know them and build a relationship, build a foundation with them. But more than that, you need to be the one reaching out to them. Make sure that they always know that they are welcome to reach up to you, which I'm sure you all do, but that's not enough. These girls sometimes feel intimidated. They feel like they're just going to bother you, like they're going to be a pain if they try to ask you questions. And even though you said, oh, I'm here whenever you need me, there's people who aren't going to bug you. So you need to be checking in with them once a week at least. I know when I started in this business, I was checking in with my gals at least once a day. And we became really great friends really fast. And we all did really well. And that was, I think, because of the friendship foundation that we built. And the fact that they knew and I knew that we were there together to help each other. They helped me grow in my business with their ideas. And I know I helped them with some of their growth as well. So you need to be networking together. You need to be growing those strong foundations. and helping your teams to blossom. You have to be the one who's proactive in doing it. Really quick, I thought of one more thing that I wanted to add to that first segment after I shot it. And it's not to put all of your eggs in one basket. We talk about in this business a lot how we need to grow wide and deep. And that means you need to be working with multiple people, because if you're only working with a couple legs, when those recruit out, you're going to be in trouble. So multiple people. However, you might be working with a few people. If there's somebody who doesn't show interest, don't spend all your time with them. Work with the people who want the help. The ones who are messaging you back and asking the questions and asking for the help. If there's somebody who's just blatantly ignoring you, chances are they're not into it. So work with the ones that want the help and want to be worked with. I hope that helped. That's our first little segment. Segment 2 will be soon. So go ahead and post below if you have questions or what resonated from this video to you. Thanks.